When my wife and I were about 17, 18 years old, we were living with my mom, and my sister lived about 20 minutes away. We would go over there every once in a while just to hang out and shoot the breeze, and we would always get into some pretty deep conversations. My sister began to tell us a story about when she was, say, 10 years old, and she was staying the night with her cousins, our cousins, and they were playing in the basement and everything was going well, and my little cousin began to laugh kind of hysterically as if something really funny was happening. She was hearing a laughter, I guess in her head. A few seconds later, that laughter turns into this like extreme fear, to the point where she's grabbing my sister and shaking her and saying, and crying. They had to go talk to the adults about it, and that night they were all pretty spooked by what had happened. The adults ended up letting the kids have the adult room. The three of them are kind of side by side here, like this, kind of laying in the bed this way. They had fallen asleep and my sister was in the middle. My sister looked over and saw this cousin's face completely almost pulsating and being distorted, and it creeped her out, so she rolled over to look at her, and her face was creepy and distorted and pulsating in a weird way. So my sister's freaking out and she jumps out of the bed. What she describes that she saw was a beast coming through the door. Door was closed, and what she describes is a muscular, four-horned apparition, if you will, sort of just coming through the door and coming at her. And she said she blacked out. And when she woke up, she says that she was still in the middle of the bed, except underneath the bed. There was only enough room to where she was wedged, like she just fit. And she was still scared and freaking out, and when she got up, nobody was there. The two cousins were gone at this point, and the bed was completely made. She went to find Rane, and Rane told her to go back into the room and turn the light on and to see if anyone was there. Well, the bed was fully made, and the pillows were up against the headboard right here. And one of the cousins was in between the mattress and the headboard underneath the pillows. So it's a terrifying story that my sister told. It freaked us out quite a bit. So at this point, we had left my sister's house, and my wife is telling me that she just heard from a friend or a coworker that they had an experience with an apparition that looked kind of like the devil inside the screen of a television set. And the television set was apparently turned off. We approach our turn and we stop right here, and we're supposed to make a right turn at this point, but when we look left, we see right in the middle of the road a tube television just facing us. Like, the odds of that, what are the chances of that happening? So we're freaking out, and I look at my wife like, what should we do? So I turn this way and I drove around it like that, and then I drove back home. I don't know why that happened. I don't know what it means. But what's peculiar is this was about, say, 15 years ago in my life, and about a year ago I decided to start this YouTube channel, and I had to do some research. And in that research I was looking up different ideas and different things that I could do, and I was just trying to gather as much information as possible. I knew I wanted to bring my faith into the YouTube channel, and I stumbled upon a website that's labeled Top 10 Christian YouTube Channels, and when I clicked into it, this is the image. This was about a year ago now. And I called my wife and I said, you gotta see this. This is insane. She freaked out. I mean, she went almost into panic mode. We're both kind of freaking out about it. And I didn't know what else to do but to grab my Bible and start praying about it. Like, God, can you answer this for me? Like, what does this mean? I'm holding my Bible and I'm asking God, like, what is this? Okay, so I remember 15 years ago about the whole situation with the TV in the road. Now here we are 15 years later, there's a TV on this Top 10 Christian YouTube channel page. What does this mean, God? And when I opened my Bible, I just started reading the first verse that my eyes fell on. It was Romans 2:19. It said, if you are sure that you yourself are a guide to the blind and a light to those who are in darkness, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of children, having in the law the embodiment of knowledge and truth, you then who teach others, do you not teach yourself? While you preach against stealing, do you steal? And you who say that one must not commit adultery, do you commit adultery? You who abhor idols, do you rob temples? You who boast in the law, dishonor God by breaking the law. For as it is written, the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you. The whole chapter of Romans 2 is talking about hypocrisy and walking the walk and not just talking the talk. I don't know what that has to do with the television and the road. God works in mysterious ways. I know that if you get anything out of this, just know that there are definitely different spirits at work at all times in your life, and if you're not fully connected to the Spirit of God through Jesus Christ, there's a good chance that you can be manipulated and used in ways that you don't want to be. My prayer is that this video opens your mind and your heart and helps you draw a little bit closer to God. He's always been there for me, even when I was too blind to see it, and He's here for you right now. So thank you so much for coming to the Book of Wolf, and God bless.